Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Vegas Views. Dawn Sullivan.
Tristan Crowley.
Hope you guys are doing well and had a great week. We had a pretty good week, Tristan, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
All right. This week, we have a couple of people that we're going to be interviewing. Super, super cool talent. We'll get into that in just a second. So, Tristan, tell me, how was your week?
Oh, it was pretty nice, pretty casual. I'd say a lot's been going on with the IMTAs and stuff, and I'm actually very excited for this preparation and how everything has been going. And actually, you're going to be meeting one of the main instructors for the IMTAs out of Las Vegas, which is very exciting. So,
if you guys don't know what the IMTA is, if you didn't tune in last week, you should have, but you're here now, right? The International Model and Talent Association. So I'm the national director for the Talent Association, and we are still looking for people to come with us to New York City, June 24th to June 30th. Actors, models, dancers, singers, professional actors, models, dancers, and singers. We are looking for people with tons of talent to come with us. We have fantastic training at our school, DreamTraxx Academy. If you're interested in something, get in touch, and we can possibly get you on there. So that's what Tristan's talking about. We're doing a bunch of training there. We're doing runway training, commercial training. We'll get into it a little bit later, but about monologues and just really cool, interesting stuff. Some people coming with us are breaking into the industry and coming to this convention for the first time, and then we have some people that have been there before. So really, really cool.
Yeah,
the training's interesting.
Oh, it's fun. It's a lot of rigorous, a lot of hard work, and a lot of soul searching, essentially. And I really find it fun and fascinating, and it really just it's something I really want to do. So yeah. I was gonna say, it's crazy to see a lot of the people and a lot of the students or a lot of the actors that are pursuing the stream that I've worked with grow in their development, and this whole process has been it's been super fun, super interesting.
Now I see you have a lot of friends there, huh?
Yes.
So you're kind of cool with everybody, and I see that with you. You don't have a group. You're kind of cool.
Yeah,
with everyone.
I try to.
I like that.
Yeah, because I try to essentially almost fit like a glove with like anyone and everyone, just because I feel like being able to talk to being able to talk to people and resonate with some type of similarity always helps.
Like find a common grounds with them, but they're so different, right?
Yeah, because it always gives like a very welcome, warm, and friendly feel to.
Yeah, my favorite thing about DreamTraxx and the training aspect of it is I think the versatility. We have so many different people from so many different walks of life. When I look at our group, and I have a big picture of all of us, and I look at our group from instructors to models, actors, singers, dancers, it's like, whoa, this person's on a cruise ship singing, this person's on a runway. They have such different backgrounds and different life stories, and then combining them all together and trying to teach them pretty much the same thing in these guidelines. It's really cool to watch. You guys just kind of suck it up and absorb it. It's awesome.
No, yeah.
It's fun, right?
No, it is. And it's I don't know. I really, really find it intriguing, and being able to practice being on set with camera angles and trying to be connected personally with a lot of people, and being able to go into the scene and find the truth and find that moment has always been super, super intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And being able to do that with this group of people that we do have is I couldn't have asked for it anything else.
No, I know we spoke about this last week a little bit, but when you're working back and forth with somebody, that's the part I find absolutely amazing is how you end up being able to just connect with the partner. How you just may not know this person. This person may be in class for 2 weeks or a week, and you don't know them personally, and you're thrown into the scene with them, and automatically you have to have that underlying connect with them to actually do the scene. To me, that blows me away. I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And I don't act, that. So for me to watch it, I said this last week, I think it is awesome. So cool how you guys connect. And I watch these relationships being built, and then I will say to myself, wow, that person and that person, for whatever reason, they just connect and work well together. They just have a vibe. They have a good connect. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, because it's you think about it hypothetically, two people don't even fairly know each other, just go to school together, and they have to be brothers or brother and sister, and have to have that underlying little tough love, hard love-hate relationship, because how it is with siblings. And Yeah, it's really like it is. It's really intriguing to be able to find the truth in the moment and a lot of this stuff because you can really resonate and pull a lot of I don't know. I like to say like I don't want to say skeletons in the closet, but a lot
Mhm.
of stuff that
Yeah.
you haven't maybe like talked about, but you bring it out and then you're like, wow, I was able to use something that I dealt with or been
Yeah.
like experienced in my life and put that into a scene and
Probably one of my favorite things. By the way, we do have Frank Parrillo today, one of our guests I have today,
yes.
but Frank will be here soon. Probably one of my favorite things about Frank is he pulls things. He'll just stand this close in somebody's face and he'll pull stuff out of you that you don't know exists. And I'm watching this and I'm like, from my standpoint, casting and modeling and stuff, I don't see that. But I'm like, oh my God, you're going to make that person cry. And I know Frank's like, good. That's what I want here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's such for me, I feel bad. I'm like, oh no, but then it's for the craft, it's for the art. I get it. And it's amazing to watch. From this side of it is really cool to watch.
Oh, that's like honestly, if I'm being like anything, like if there's anything that I don't, because I'm like I played football, so I
Yeah.
was very into like coaches being in my face. Like I always was like this coach, like
Yeah.
this, third. And when he does that, it always again intrigues me because 1000% every single time, the student, the actor, like it just clicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for that like brief moment, they're in that scene, and he brings the best out of people.
Yeah. It's funny. My feelings for this sometimes is I think you have to be a little bit crazy to want to do this kind of work, though. You're putting yourself in the absolute most vulnerable spot. And so I think so many people battle with that just on a regular basis. And here's this amazing group of people that are like, I'll be vulnerable. I'll give you my depths of hurt and pain. And
Yep.
yeah, no, most people walk around trying to hide that stuff. And here you crazy actors are like, I'm going to put that on the table for the world to see my emotion and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick before we have to go, modeling, so good in front of a camera, but it is not your favorite, huh? Acting's your favorite.
Yes, it's
Okay.
more of the creative side of it, I
Yeah.
think. Being able to bring a character to life.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you're so good in front of the camera.
I appreciate
You are. It's fantastic. I think, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break now. We'll see you in just a few. Return to us. Come back.
This show is brought to you by DreamTraxx Academy.
Social Media Shows is a production company based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We offer these services. We've been streaming shows live in real time for over 4 years on major social media platforms and also on our website socialmediashows.com. And we are now on Roku TV. We welcome you to have your own show on our TV network. Call us 651-955-8743 or email us at admin@socialmediashows.com.
Trying to buy a home these days is tough. We know. We hear it every day. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. So, how do you compete with cash buyers and win? By becoming a cash buyer yourself. How do you do that? With New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will buy your new home with cash and sell it back to you for the original purchase price, plus a service fee that can be added to the purchase price of the home once you secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. This turns you into a cash buyer and helps you win the bidding war. And the best part? You don't need to sell your current home first. Don't miss this opportunity to buy your dream home. Call New American Funding today or visit newamericanfunding.com to learn more about becoming a cash buyer and winning the bidding war.
thank you guys. Welcome back. So we're going to have a fantastic show for you here. Coming up now, we have Gino Segers. Thank you so much, Gino, for being with us today.
Pleasure's mine.
It is my pleasure to have you here today.
Oh, gosh.
All right, Gino, I've got some questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so you've been in the industry a very, very long time.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that. When did you start?
I started late in the business.
Okay.
I was a rugby player many years in New Zealand and Australia, Wales and France and London. And
Can I stop you there? Not just rugby, right? You're a full-on athlete from what I
know.
Yeah. Okay, you've done some football, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was a football player for high school, college, and a stint in the minor league.
Okay.
And then I sort of figured that I would continue my athletic career, and I went overseas to play rugby. I had a great time playing rugby, but I found that there was just as much politics in rugby as there was in football.
Okay.
So I switched codes to full contact wrestling. I was fortunate enough to win a national championship in New Zealand as a freestyle heavyweight wrestler, and then got recruited to go to Thailand to do some full contact fighting and bring full contact fighting back to New Zealand.
Gino, can I back up for 1 second? Yeah. What made you, what type of kid were you that made you this type of athlete? What put you so competitive? And all these sports are so competitive and so
Physical.
Yeah. What did that to you?
I had some cousins, older cousins.
Sure.
That used to beat me up pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what cousins do.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And then I became very competitive and very physical as a result of that. My first year of wrestling in high school, I really didn't understand the game because I used to call wrestling fighting. To me, it was a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Actually, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's a fight. And I didn't understand why I couldn't punch in wrestling. You know what I mean? Or I couldn't, I was treating high school wrestling like WWE.
Yeah.
I was drop kicking and, so these things sort of got me disqualified until I learned the actual sport. And but prior to that, I quit because my coach, I couldn't get on the mat because I was getting DQ'd from challenging.
Yeah, okay.
So I said, this thing is not for me. And Coach Southern was his name. And he said to me, he found me in the hallway and he said to me, "Son, where were you at practice last week?" I said, "Yeah, Coach, I don't think it's for me." He said, "If you quit on your teammates, you'll quit the rest of your life."
Oh, wow. And so that resonated.
And I was like, I'm the quitter.
Good
and
for
I'll
you.
see you at practice.
Wow.
And literally that changed my life.
It was literally, yeah.
Literally changed my life.
That's so profound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I quit on my teammates, I'll quit the rest of my life. And I didn't want to be a quitter.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I thank Coach Southern every time I see him.
That is so
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving forward, so you were overseas for a bit.
I was overseas and I majored in engineering, so I gravitated to fluid systems.
Sure.
So whatever reason, my dad was a plumber.
Okay.
And I gravitated to fluid systems, being underneath houses in the crawl space every summer with my dad. Fluid was my thing.
Okay.
So I was working with a piping company in New Zealand.
Okay.
Concrete pipe. So they used to make these giant culverts the size of this room
Oh wow.
and put them underneath buildings, underneath highways, airports, all kinds of things where drainage was an issue. And so I got sick of that and thought, you know what? I can do this on my own. I don't need these guys. So I started doing short runs of concrete, driveways, sidewalks, this sort of thing. That led me to window cleaning because sidewalks, the windows get dirty. So I contracted some of my ex-rugby friends to do some window cleaning. That led to securities, bouncers, bodyguards, 6-point, 8-point, 3-point bodyguard.
Now, can I stop you and ask you that? Have you always naturally been in good shape like this, or is this a lifetime of physical working out? Like,
Oh, I am a fraction of my former self.
okay. Okay.
I used to be a, yeah.
Well, I saw some of your movies.
Yeah,
I saw some,
I'm
you're
giant, man.
like
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah, I'm really
But
now.
when you were younger, what was your size? Were
I
you
was about 245, 250.
oh, so you were a big guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So my magic number is 300. I want to keep everything under 300,
Okay.
and so if I can stay under 300, I'm happy.
Okay.
You know, and then stay out of a 50 jacket.
Yeah.
You know, I want to stay at a 48 long
Okay.
and stay there.
Because you're pretty tall. What is your height?
6'3".
Yeah, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't I don't profess to be, big tough guy.
Mhm.
I play those guys on TV, but that's
Yes, you do.
yeah, that's really
Some of your
yeah,
friends do.
that's really not me. You know what I mean? I work out modestly now. I don't try to go in and lift all the weights in the gym.
Mhm.
I just sort of keep it comfortable.
Sure.
With a little sweat going.
Yeah.
Once
So
I get
you
a
feel
lather
happy,
going, I'm
you
good.
Feel fit, you're
Yeah,
good. Okay.
yeah. I'm not.
Keeping it healthy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it healthy. Keep the joints moving, and
Exactly.
keep them lubricated. Nevertheless, I have all these businesses going at the same time. I had a friend of mine who was working for me on the door of this club say to me, "Hey, man, you got a really cool voice." Well, in New Zealand, they
You ain't speak any names, won't please, son.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
They speak way any names.
and Uncle John used to speak from the chest, boy, boom.
Yeah.
So me speaking from the chest and everybody in New Zealand speaking from their nose,
Yeah.
I sound immediately different.
Something they
Like,
might
I-
They-
almost
yeah,
it's like-
immediately different, right?
They turn around.
They're like, and it got to the point where I would have automatic response. People say, "Oh, you from the States?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And where's you from in the States? I said, "I'm from North Carolina, born, raised, and educated." That was my automatic response,
Yeah.
right? So he said, to me, "Man, you should do something with your voice. Your voice is really cool." So I go to a radio station and I basically started doing ads. At first, I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know how to be someone else. I didn't know how to. All I was good at was being myself.
Yeah, with this cool voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
No, you should.
I go to bed with it. I wake up with it. It's kind of normal to me. I just sort of being myself was sort of natural to me. You know what I mean? Duh, right?
Yeah.
But I was comfortable being myself. I didn't have a problem being myself. And that was the part that I had to really sort of figure out what the ad was, who the ad was talking to,
Mm-hmm.
what the ad was actually selling.
Mm-hmm.
Was it selling a lifestyle? Is it selling an actual product?
Yeah.
Is there a service involved in this particular product? So I had to figure out what the copy was actually trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer said to me, "Hey man, you need to go get some acting classes."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'd never heard myself,
Yeah.
in that studio, right? So I said, "Hey man, teach me how to do these ads and I'll do your ads for free."
Oh wow.
He thought about it. He said, "Okay." First ad took an hour, second ad took 45 minutes, third ad took 30 minutes. You see where I'm going, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get good at it.
Really quick.
Really quick.
Like you're catching on super fast.
Really quick, right? And by about I want to say 7th or 8th ad that I did, I was doing one take for safety.
Oh,
wow.
One take for safety.
That's almost unheard of.
No.
That's unheard
No, it's not. No, it's not. The really good guys, the really
Yeah.
good guys can do one take for safety.
Whew.
But the guys that don't have like a producer that doesn't have confidence
Mm-hmm.
in himself,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to want to get all these different takes.
Mm-hmm.
But if the producer is the guy going to air,
Mm-hmm.
if he's the one
Yeah.
that's going to air, he knows exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly what he wanted. So our relationship was really
Yeah.
good. Our work relationship was really good. He said, "Hey, Gino, I really need a high energy on this thing." Gotcha. I knew what he meant by high energy. hey, Gino, really we're talking to some older
Yeah.
clients in this particular ad. So we're running with not a somber mood, but a really conservative, very deliberate, very enunciated, very pronounced. So it got to the point where people were calling and asking for the American with the deep voice.
Oh, that is so cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man,
That's good.
you got to start paying for that.
Yeah.
100%.
I paid you back for those ads, right?
Wow.
I paid you back for my lessons. So that really sort of where I got started. And then I sort of walked into a Lion King audition and crashed it. Didn't know that I had to have an appointment. But again,
Everybody in New Zealand talks like this.
Yeah.
me, I just had to come in and quiet sit by me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was over,
How long did you do that for?
I did that for almost 5 years.
And where was that? That was in New Zealand.
It was in Australia. It was in Sydney, Melbourne. Then we moved the production to Shanghai, China. Then I left Shanghai and came to the West Coast touring company, the Cheetah Tour of the American production.
Wow. You were Mufasa.
I was Mufasa.
You love the character.
I owe a lot to Mufasa. He was my first role.
Yeah.
My working with Julie Taymor, Jeff Lee, Garth Fagan. Had I known who they were,
Yeah.
I would have been a whole lot more nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. But you had no clue.
I had no clue. I had no clue who they were. You know what I mean? These are some people sitting behind a desk, and they're asking me to sing for them.
So, Gino, how did you go from that? That's huge. Now you're on the map. People know who you are. How did you go from that and break through, and then end up on these series, the movies and TV, and
it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. While I was in The Lion King, I was taking classes with other actors who had far more education in acting than I did. So there was maybe like 4 or 5 different people. I would pay them for their time and say, hey, I really want to understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I really want to understand because I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, well, this and this. And they were giving me sort of ways to layer my character.
Don't you love how green he is through all this? This story fascinates me because it's just baby steps to him learning. This is so super cool.
Very developmental.
Yeah. For new people, guys, watch this. New actors, new voiceover people, new people in the business. Listen to this. This is really good. Because you went step by step, not even knowing what you were dealing with, doing, and you're throwing yourself in. You've had such a successful career.
Right.
Talk to me. Tell me more.
So I literally started asking other people. This guy went to Whopper in Australia, Western Australia. So I talked to him, and we set up some classes, and we set up some structure. And then there was another guy that went to NIDA, which is in Sydney. I had no idea the enormity of their schools. I had no idea.
So you were getting famous and didn't even know it.
I was working at the craft. Yeah. And so, but I still was green. I still didn't really connect the dots.
Yeah.
So once the show was over in America, I had 2 options: LA, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I'd go to New York because, well, in LA there's no theater.
No, he wasn't saying you're from. I was gonna say the East Coast, but
right. Yeah. New York, there's theater and there's television, so I can do a little bit of both.
Okay.
So New York, I moved, and for 2.5 years, I auditioned 3 to 4 times a day and booked nothing.
Very hard market, huh?
Wow.
Because I still had not mastered the ability to be someone other than myself
and find the truth in
being able to layer certain aspects of different people onto a character that I am trying to bring to life.
Yeah, it's always about the depth.
It's always about how, what level of performance you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, if you're trying to achieve the best that you can achieve, you're at a different level. There's a low bar.
Okay.
But if you've been in the industry, like you've been Mufasa, so there's expectations that go to that, right?
Oh, okay.
You know, they're saying, okay, this guy's not a leader. What do you mean he's not a leader?
Mhm.
No, he's not a leader. He's definitely he's definitely a lone wolf type. What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who does that? You know?
No, yeah.
And so these sort of ideas, these sort of characteristics were hard for me at the beginning. So whenever I would audition for a particular role, I was just going in and auditioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was just going in and trying to get up my numbers, get my reps up.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I figured that I would not get the first 50 auditions. Man, it must have been 300 auditions.
Wow.
It must have been 300 auditions. So I find myself going from Mufasa to checking IDs on the door of an Irish pub.
Like you went.
I went full circle, bro.
Wow.
I went full circle. I went from checking IDs, being Mufasa, back to checking IDs.
And so, I mean, the perseverance that takes.
But you know what's crazy? The guy I met at the gym, who was a featured background wrangler. So he would grab all these guys from the gym and they would go and get beat up by, Tom Cruise. Or they would go and chase Brad Pitt. And then they would go and, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Those kind of guys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the guy sees me at the gym and says, hey, man, what do you do for a living, bro? I said, bro, right now I'm doing the acting thing. Oh, man, dude, listen, bro, we can make $500 a week. I'm telling you, man, you should come work with me. I was like, really? He said, yeah, man. I said, wow, okay, cool. I said, so we're going to be an actor? Yeah, man, we're doing acting. I said, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So I go and I see that, okay, this is not what I want to do. Now, I'm not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not knocking it, but it's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not what I don't even have any lines.
I would say your voice is the tool.
Right.
And you have
I'm
a
like,
distinguished voice.
I have no lines in this. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm getting undressed to go home, and the guy said, hey, man, we can do this every week, man. I was like, yeah, man, this is not for me, bro.
Yeah.
This is not for me.
And when you know, you know.
I was like, dude, this is not for me. He's like, you got to be kidding me, bro. I was like, nah, man, this is not for me. He called me about 4 more times.
Really?
I needed that money, man.
Wow.
Man, I needed that money.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be back in just a second.
This show is brought to you by DreamTraxx Academy.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Geno, what is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get back, dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a ball or a leash now, wouldn't he?
Welcome back, guys. We're here again with Gino. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so you're struggling at this point in the industry. You're like, go from Mufasa, Lion King. This is successful. You're so new to this. The voiceover stuff went well, and you're auditioning, and you're doing some extra work. Not for you.
Not for me.
That was not for you.
Not for me.
Okay,
Yes.
what happened?
And so, like, the guy offered me 4 more jobs along the way, and I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So he calls me one time and says, okay, I got some lines for you.
Okay.
I'm like, okay. Okay. And so I go in, I do the lines, and they're like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. But they cut the lines.
Oh.
So that, like, in the show was white collar, right? It's my first television work. And I was Ames' bodyguard.
Okay.
And they cut the lines. I did the lines in the when we shot it, but they cut the lines, but they still had to pay me as a principal.
Okay, so it wasn't what you wanted, but
it wasn't what I wanted, but I got paid as a principal,
okay.
And I still get residuals from white collar, which is crazy to me. But that's sort of me refusing to do featured background work when I really needed the money.
Yeah,
was what I feel pushed me into looking into Los Angeles.
Yeah. Great advice, guys.
Yeah.
Listen to him right here for new people. What he's saying is if he would have just stuck with extra work to pay the bills, he wouldn't have gotten where he is. He kind of went, you took a leap of faith and said, I'm not going to take this already guaranteed money because this isn't really what I want to do.
Right.
I'm going to strive for what I want. And it worked out for you. I love that. It's a huge message.
Yeah.
Just strive for what you guys really, truly want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then they Disney came along and they were looking for a guy who was big but not fat, muscular but not a bodybuilder, likable, think Dwayne Johnson, commanding voice, think James Earl Jones. I'm like,
there I am. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I am,
Like
right?
we described
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so Mason McCullough, again, I owe a lot to Mason. I owe a lot to that character because he gave me a foundation of young viewers who love Mason. Even to this day, I get messages
I was
from
gonna
people.
say.
Yeah.
Because like you know, like that's around like when I was a kid, like
dude.
growing up. And
Yeah.
I remember watching it all the time. So
Yeah,
like,
Bear Kings. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I get.
This got to be cool for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what
I get messages all the time about Bear Kings and Mason McCullough. Where's my Hummer? You know, I'm like, hey man, my Hummer's somewhere deep in the South Pacific. I don't know.
You've had such a successful career and have a successful career.
It's been fun.
You were actually on one of my absolute favorite shows, #1 show right now. If any of you guys don't know this, Yellowstone.
Oh my goodness.
And the kids love you on Yellowstone. The kids love him on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you are, because everybody watches that. Everyone loves that show.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I got a chance to work on Yellowstone. Kelsey Asbel was my daughter on Pair of Kings. But I didn't get a chance to work with her on Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, his wife.
Yeah.
His wife.
Your daughter was Dakota Love in Yellowstone. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Okay.
Well, yeah, I really wanted to work with her, but it didn't work out.
Because that would have been cool. Because it would have been like, you know, years down the road. Like,
Taylor and I, Taylor Sheridan is a really probably one of the coolest people that I've had a chance to work with. He's really an actor's director.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, he really wants to collaborate with you, and he really wants to pull out of you how you feel about the particular role and the character and where they are, and he really wants to collaborate. And we just hit it off. So we're out at his house watching the Cowboy game,
Okay.
and he's like, "Hey man, I got this idea. We're gonna make you the guy that he comes to, not Tonto, but kind of like a Tonto to his long range." I'm like, "Man, I'm happy to do Tonto. Doesn't bother me one bit."
100%.
But you know, my character makes mention to that whole Tonto thing. He says, "You're becoming a real long ranger around here.
Oh.
Now you needed the Tonto, but you know you're not gonna find one of them." So he mentions it.
Yeah.
But then Taylor gets pulled off to 1883, and they sort of write me off. So that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Tonto was a little too risque for those writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas it wouldn't have been a big deal for Taylor. Taylor's really an edgy. I mean, I can't say enough about Taylor Sheridan. Can't say enough about him. Yeah.
Fantastic. Can I ask you, absolute favorite project you've ever worked on?
My favorite project is always the one I'm currently doing or the last one I worked on.
Okay.
So the last one I worked on was a movie we shot in Spain called Road to Bethlehem.
Okay.
It is a movie nativity musical.
What do you do?
I play one of the wise kings.
Okay.
In fact, my king, my character, sings the least. He doesn't sing very much,
Okay.
but it's okay. Originally the characters were switched. I got a chance to play, to work with Rizwan Munji, who I worked with on Perfect Harmony. He was the reverend of the church that the choir was, a member of. And I got to work with him, and our roles were switched because he is Gaspar. He literally is Gaspar. So this movie is going to be coming out probably mid-November.
Okay. Very cool.
And so
I'll be sure to watch that.
Yeah, it'll be at theaters.
Okay.
And it's a wide release, so coming to a theater near you.
Excellent. Tell me the name of it again.
Road to Bethlehem.
Road to Bethlehem in November, guys. Look out for that. Okay, one more thing. Are you a gamer? You play video games?
You know, I just do the voices.
Okay.
Um,
That's where I was going.
yeah. I just do the voices, man.
But have you actually sat there and heard your voice? And that's got to be kind of cool.
I've never actually.
You haven't. That's game I would have to play just to hear myself.
No, that would be weird. That would be weird. But I mean,
you do Fortnite.
Fortnite, you can't because it was a one-time event.
Okay.
Galactus, hopefully Galactus will come back eventually because he got sort of zapped into another dimension.
Okay. Do you have fun with those?
I do. But my favorite Fortnite character is Sergeant Tank Gatlin.
Tank Gatlin.
Yeah, Tank Gatlin. He's funny, dude. I have fun with him because he's in this sort of hodgepodge world where he's a lawyer and a soldier.
Yeah.
And so all the characters are mixed up.
Yeah.
So it's like he's confused about, what's my focus?
Yeah.
Criminal law.
See, they're funny.
It's funny, dude. He's panicking about why he's built the way he's built. And, and he asks his creator, why do I have lower back pain?
Can I tell you, I did some research on you too, and it is my pleasure meeting you, but you are so funny. Your TikTok. Guys, check out his TikTok just because he's so funny. You say this thing at the end of it. What is it that you say? He says, wow, and then what is it that you say? Please say it. It's hysterical.
I don't know. Which one
something, I don't know. Okay, guys.
I got a lot of catchphrases.
Yeah.
So what the show is, originally it started out with Para Kings fans asking me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And somebody said, man, those are some real good words of wisdom. You're so wise. I was like, words of wisdom. So I asked them, I said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this words of wisdom on Wednesday. I don't know Wednesday's words of wisdom. I don't know. I'm going to figure out a way to do it, right? So originally it started off as words of wisdom on Wednesday, hashtag WOWOW.
Yes.
But that was such a mouthful of people to say, right? The WOWOW. They couldn't do it, right? So I changed it to Gino Segers' words of wisdom, which is GSWOW.
Okay.
Which makes it easier.
And it rolls off
the tongue a little bit better. And there may be a new variation. Who knows? I don't know. But
funny though, guys. Check him out on TikTok.
I just look at current events, things that are happening, some questions that people ask, and I try to not answer them directly because I don't want nobody coming back at me.
Yeah.
No, you try to make it to a broader.
So I take the subject matter and I discuss the subject matter.
Gotcha.
And there are a lot of things that are kind of uncomfortable for some people, but to me, it's just common sense. And the way I close it oftentimes is, don't get mad at me. This is simply the truth, according to the world of Gino Segers. Small world, but it is mine.
But you know what I love though? You're not offensive in any way. You
I try to keep it. Yeah,
you really do keep that the belief system. You leave everything open, and I love that.
Absolutely. I don't want anyone to feel like they can't come to the channel and enjoy a bit of humor,
So funny,
and some information that I might feel is pertinent or that might be relevant or might be in some cases downright exact. There's some things I'm not gonna turn my back on. And there's some hills I'm going to die on.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that, I'm gonna leave it there.
what do you have for any new actors, models, anybody voiceovers trying to break into the business? Give them some good advice. What do they need? Especially this day and age, things are different. You know the business.
Things are different,
and you have a lot of young following.
Yes.
So talk to them.
Yes.
What would you tell them?
I would honestly say, don't look past the hard work. Don't try to skip out on it. Just put a process together. Put a plan together. One hand washes the other, and both hands wash the face. Now, you can't wash your face with one dirty hand. You're going to have dirt everywhere. So there's order to it. Understand the process. Understand that there's order. You've got to master the craft. You have to, there's a mastering of the craft. We never actually master it.
Yeah.
So you're just constantly working to be better and to do good work and to be the very best that you can be in that moment that we are basically suspending reality for the sake of facilitating a story.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Those are some great words. We have a lot of young people looking to get started in this day and age. It's hard. There's a lot out there. The internet has shifted things, and so it's really good for them to hear from people like you that have achieved so much. And for you, this wasn't like you weren't a little kid saying, I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be a voice. So you didn't do that. You you landed on this, and it landed on you, and it became a part of you.
Yes.
And I think that's the best kind. The best kind is just a part of your life and your journey. That's just awesome.
Oh, thank you. But awesome. I mean, to me, it's a journey that you never actually get to the end.
Never.
It's just it's the journey. It's constant.
So, as you were getting into the acting, who do you look up to? Who are your actors? Who do you like? Who do you say, oh, you know what? This person inspires me.
Wow. I never actually thought of it. I'm more amazed by production.
Okay.
The directors, casting. I'm more amazed at the amount of people it takes to actually get a production off the ground.
Okay. So you're the backside.
I
Me
love,
too.
I mean, I really
I'm the back
enjoy
end, yeah.
working with directors, really good directors.
Yeah.
I really like good showrunners. Greg Yatanis comes to mind. I mean, it's just, they Taylor Sheridan, I mean, there's so many really good people that you can work with that are behind the scenes. Dave Angus, or Ryan Ochoa, working with these guys, it's such a collaborative effort. It's such a mission to get the story told in the best light possible. I look up to those guys. That's awesome. And I respect those guys. Greg Yatanis.
Is production in your future?
I've done a few things.
Okay.
I've done a few things.
Yeah.
And I've worked directly with Ryan Ochoa. We produced a short called Save the Island, which was a carry on from Air Kings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, after the show ended, so many fans wanted to know what happened to them. So we just put together a short to sort of like close that loop off.
Yeah.
But we left it open as well.
Oh,
so Mitchell Musso's a part of the short.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mitchell Musso. And Ryan Ochoa and myself. We even got some tarantula people in there.
That's cool.
We got the mummy in there.
Yeah. Cool. So much for today. But you have really just done so much for us here, to our new people especially, and just to get to know you has been an honor.
My pleasure.
I love this. This is so super cool. Guys, check him out. He is just awesome. It was my pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you. We're going to be right back, guys.
This show is brought to you by DreamTraxx Academy.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause, because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Guys, thank you for staying tuned. We have a guest today here, Frank Parrillo. Frank, so much. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, sir.
So, Frank, talk to us. You have so much going on right now.
So much going on. I heard you guys earlier talking about the IMTA, and I wrote 33 scripts for individual persons for that.
Yes.
So everybody could shine in their own light without having to try to go up against somebody else on that same script, because IMTA, everybody's going to grab the same scripts off the internet, and that's what that's going to be about. But we wanted to do it a little bit different. We wanted everybody to have their unique and own story to tell.
Do you know, I've been with IMTA since 1989, and never has a group had their monologues written by their coach before. So I think this might be never. So
Yeah,
this is
specifically for
them.
Yes.
Which
You were one of them. Yeah.
I am. I know.
Yes.
That's why I'm like super excited to have you on today.
So tell me about that, Frank. That one is just, that's a lot of work. I know that. How do you do that? You meet with the person, or you get to know them a little bit, and how does it come to you? I can pull this out of this person. Like, how does it work when you're building this monologue?
Well, first of all, like you said, I got to get to know the person a little
Sure.
bit. And if I get to see them act, that's even better.
Okay.
But the really good thing is just to kind of get a feel of where they're at. So you can tell if they, if they have a real comic kind of side to them,
Sure.
you want to write something that's a little bit more funny. If they're a little bit more serious, you feel they can pull off serious material a little bit better, you go that way a little bit direction. But there's a lot of things, the business is full of, what would you be good for? What would you be hired for?
Sure.
So just looking at it from that perspective,
Yeah.
write the monologue for what makes them successful.
Sure. Well, sure. And these kids love Frank Parrillo at DreamTraxx Academy. If you guys are looking, especially if you're new, come and take classes. There are beginner level classes up to extreme level classes. He's just a fantastic coach. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah, these guys love you. You're tough though. You have a reputation. Tell me about that. You're a little hard on these guys. Is some people? He's a little hard.
100%.
No. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. I'm hard on
Uh-huh.
people. But I think you were saying earlier about how your coaches could get in your face, and the people who want you to succeed are going to be those people who want you to pull out your best.
Yes.
Anybody who's just going to settle for your worst or whatever,
yeah.
or your mediocre, then they're not really having your best interest in mind anyway. So yeah, I mean, I can actually get in your face. I can, not in an aggressive, mean kind of way, sometimes. But,
No, it's not mean.
But the beauty is, I don't think I've ever had an opportunity where I've actually got that with somebody, and they can no longer focus on themselves. They can no longer be in their heads. They have to give you that character because you're right there. They cannot go in their heads.
Yeah.
And so what happens is they inevitably let go and just allow the character to flow. And it's it often brings me to tears. I mean, because it is such a beautiful thing to see somebody struggling the way they do, and all of a sudden the character just flows.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very refreshing also to see a teacher or someone like yourself, very like highly renowned, be able to care so much.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I feel like it's not, you don't see it often.
No.
You don't see it a lot, if you see it ever. And you really do. You care a lot, and you really put in the hours, the work, just as much as your students, if not even more.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like really refreshing to see that.
Frank and I have been colleagues for a second now, and one thing I've noticed, when people start our school, some of them come to us with the absolute most raw talent where it's like, whoa, this person is so talented. And then sometimes we get people that are just want to do this, but I don't know anything about this and I want to get started. And the great thing about Frank, he puts 100% effort into every person. Whether in my head, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work for that person. It may not be right for this. I'm like, Frank. And he's like, no, we're going to try. We're going to do this. 6 months later, they're pulling stuff out of a kid that you didn't even think. I mean,
yeah.
And I know it's like never, I guess the thing is he doesn't judge. He would never prejudge a person. He'd say, what can I pull out of this human being? And for me, I think that is really cool. That is really, really cool. Especially what we're doing with IMTA right now. And I said this a little bit earlier when Tristan and I were talking. It's really nice to start watching. We have 2 months now till we go. It's really nice to start watching them like blossom into and get these monologues down. And like, it's like, whoa, I knew they were good. They're always good. So I'm not saying that they weren't, but to watch them now is like, whoa, they're getting there. And they're, we have a shot. We have a shot to pull #1 actor.
Well, we at DreamTraxx really believe that we've got to be just as committed to our students as we expect our students to be committed to not only us as a school, but the craft that they're saying they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's really super important. We love our students. We really love you guys. You know that. And we find a nice relationship with you guys. And then we work really hard. And sometimes that doesn't mean you go away happy. Sometimes
100%.
Yeah, you're going to go home feeling like you could have done better. But I think that's just the business. I don't think everybody is good at what they're doing every day, because you can't always be in that. And I think that's really important for people to understand, is that you can start to get better and still make mistakes.
Yes.
You know, I was taking back to tennis, first start tennis and, you're hitting the ball in the net. You're not judging yourself too much.
Yeah.
You get the balls over the net a little bit more often. And then all of a sudden you're getting the balls over quite often. And then every time you hit the net after that, it's like, you should never hit the net. But that's not how life works.
Yeah.
And even the pros hit the ball into the net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, it's like Gino was saying, it really is a journey that you have to take. And it's a journey that has multiple destinations, but never has a final destination. He's so right about that. And, part of the journey is hearing the no's. Yeah. Getting out there and auditioning and knowing for a while people are just going to say no. But somebody out there someday will say yes if you stay at it.
Okay, I have a question for you. You've done so much in the industry. I mean, productions, he has a couple of his own movies. I mean, he owns the school, he teaches, his hands are in everything, teaching this select group for IMTA. How do you stay just frank and so humble? These kids love you. Every day you're just frank. People hear your name and do the research and they realize the magnitude of who you are. But how do you just stay so humble?
Well, I don't think there's much magnitude. I'm just another person like everybody else.
You've achieved a lot in this industry.
I've done some wonderful things.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that I did all those wonderful things. But I'm not done yet. And all my students are little pieces that I can continue to add to my resume, seeing them be successful. And then they come back to the school and they give back to the students. And
that was one of my questions for you, letting them go. So you're working with this person and they're doing great and you build them and you watch them grow and then you give them and they do a movie and you've had a lot of these and they come back to you. Losing them for you is not losing them. It's more like they were butterflies, you let them go, they come back. How rewarding is that feeling to have them like very successful and that has a lot to do with your input?
That's the best part of it.
So that's the rewarding part.
That's the reward that I get. But we have a team of people, this. Natalie, you.
Absolutely. Natalie, Stout,
staff, are all people that share the same they share the same vision for people, and everybody does their part and brings it together.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the compliments and everything, but it's always a team effort. No one person can do anything themselves. So we all work together. And I think DreamTraxx has gotten to a place where it's just a beautifully oiled working machine. And we always tell people the truth. We don't come in. You don't come in, oh, hey, you're going to be a star. Give it a couple of weeks. We don't ever do that. Hey, we're telling you the truth. This is a journey, 3 to 5 years. Understand what you're getting into before you lay a one penny down to do this. And even before that, we say, hey, listen, if you still want to do that, come in for a free class.
I love what you tell everyone, that this is like the hardest thing they're ever going to do. I love that because it's so true. And for people like me who don't act, it is probably, if I attempted to do it, it would be one of the hardest things. So I like how you warn everybody. You're very upfront with everyone and you let them know if you're committed to this right now, but if you're not, we're not keeping you here. You come here because you want to be here and help them grow.
Right.
And that's just awesome.
No, the best thing is to have them come back.
Yeah.
When they come back, that's the most heartfelt thing.
Yeah.
And then, also we have things like Geno come in. We have other people come in from the industry and they talk. And last year we had several big industry people zoom in with our students and they got to ask very solid questions about the industry, making industry, and finding out, these are just people too. These are people who have a job to do and you want to be somebody who works with them eventually. And they're saying, hey, always be the positive person. Always be the guy that's humble. Always be the girl that's humble. And
that's hard to find though in this industry, Frank. I've been in the business a long time, and it's hard to find those really truly humble people, especially when you get to a certain level. So I thank you for being as humble as you are to our students and to everybody out there. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's also with going to DreamTraxx and stuff, it's very community.
Yeah.
It's not isolated.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of classes are a lot of places you would go to practice. And it's not very you're very hands-on. You are very hands-on with your students and you're very hands-on with scene breakdowns. And a lot of teachers that I've experienced learning from, don't really help out the students a whole lot.
No, and that's the great thing about DreamTraxx is that we make opportunities like IMTA and getting in front of casting directors.
Our modeling division.
Yeah,
Don't forget our modeling division.
But we do look for opportunities for our students.
Yeah.
We have an audition tomorrow at the school that for some of our young people. That somebody called us, hey, I'm looking for this, and now we're holding an audition tomorrow for a feature film that some people get to go to, and it's always what you can do for people. It's not only going to always make you more successful. It's always going to it's going to make you. Sorry, let me back that up. Not always going to make just them be successful. It's always going to be adding to your success. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, and I love my students, and I love what we do there. I can be there 12, 13
With that
hours a day.
being said, let's tell these guys how to get in touch with you, Frank. So what we're going to do, Frank, let them know.
Okay, so you can go to our website. It's www.DreamTraxxAcademy.com, and some information there about our class schedule, what the class is about, who teaches there. We've got some videos of people that we've interviewed before. You can call or text 877-ACTING-4.
Yes, 877-ACTING-4, guys. Remember that, 877-ACTING-4. If you want my handle as well, I'm located at DreamTraxx, but Dawn Sullivan _, modeling division, IMTA. Tristan, how can we get in touch with you?
Pretty simple.
Call DreamTraxx. He's always there.
Yeah, literally. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok handle. It's just pretty basic. Tristan Crowley. That's about it.
Frank, I thank you so much for all the doing.
I
I thank you
appreciate
for
you guys having
being
me
here.
here.
Thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate you always.
Thank you.
Sir.
I'll see you.
Yes, you will.
Guys, tune in next week.